So what else is going on in the world of MMA? Victor, what are we missing last week? What happened with Tyson Fury? Did he win? Did he box last weekend?
He boxed and won.
I saw a meme.
He won and he retired and challenged Ngannou all in one moment.
So let's see. Tyson Fury is finished with his professional boxing career, but that doesn't mean he's done fighting just yet. Following a stunning 6-round knockout over Dillian White in front of 94,000 fans at Wembley Stadium, the 33-year-old heavyweight champion confirmed that he's officially retired, moving his record to 32-0-1 with the win, and he wants an exhibition with Francis Ngannou. Now, I saw that they wanted to do it with MMA gloves, boxing rules, MMA gloves, right?
Well, he said he'll do whatever. In his post-fight speech, he said he'll do whatever Ngannou wants to do.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm hoping for, right?
Oh no!
Oh God,
you guys know what
it's likely not going to happen. Vic.
It seems very unlikely.
Natalie, go ahead and play it.
Everything's better in a triangle.
Oh yeah, this would be cool though, right?
This would be cool.
It's the only thing that will decide who is better, who is the baddest man on the planet.
I don't know. Vic, the more you say it, the more I like it. My problem is I don't know if you can get these two behemoths inside of just one triangle.
It's true. We could do boxing gloves, MMA gloves, or triangle gloves.
Oh, well, yeah. Have we ever talked?
Oh, there's been an eye poke with a triangle glove. This fight is over.
Nobody saw that coming. I mean, there are a bunch of triangles.
Actually, several people raised concerns.
Yeah, look, I don't think that Francis Ngannou should take this fight.
Get him in a triangle?
I don't think, no, you shouldn't get him in anything. I think that Francis Ngannou, I think that the UFC should go, Francis Ngannou, you're a fucking monster. Let's start paying you $5-10 million a year or a fight to be our champion and to wave this flag. I think all the championships just make that type of money. If you here's what I think they should do. The UFC should make it $10 million a fight if you're a champion, and then change nothing else for everyone else.
No, I'll go further.
Okay,
they should take pay away from the lowest paid fighters.
Yes, dude.
Yo, listen, we're gonna pay you $10 million, but we got to make up this money somehow. So the guy making $15K is now making $8K. Now I know what you're thinking. That doesn't get you a lot closer to $10 million. You only made a few $1,000s just to punish that guy.
$10 million for the champion. It's like all or nothing. Do you know how hard people will fight to become the champion?
But you don't get paid until you win a championship.
No, I think I think maybe even having a more structured system, right, where like people sort of like know that this is like the tiered system. A number one, a title fight gets you X amount of dollars.
What do you do when you got a guy like Conor or someone who like draws so much more money in? They shouldn't make. More money.
They don't change anything else. That's what I'm saying. So Conor can work out his $10 million deal all the fucking live long day, which he's doing, right? So if you're that dude, be that dude. But if you're a champion, you get $10 million. Dude, everyone would be fucking like it would be the craziest quality fights. I just people I losing their minds.
Dana White, like if you actually pitch this to him, you go, yeah, it's a really crazy idea. You know, they're already trying pretty hard, and I'm paying them $500,000. So I think I'm just going to stick with that.
Well, it's not even about getting them to try harder. It's also about getting them to stop complaining about how little their champions are paid. I think it should be.
Well, I get that.
A title fight, you get paid $1 million if you're in the title fight, and if you're the champion, you get paid $10 million every fucking fight.
I got to say, if I'm Dana White. And if I'm just taking it from the perspective of purely what's in the best interest of the bottom line for the UFC, I go, I don't know. You know, of course you don't want to lose your heavyweight champion, of course, right? But like the more I think about it, I kind of realized this after Tyson Fury called him out, that when this becomes more real, you go, he can go collect one big payday, and he's gonna get fucked up.
Oh, he's gonna get lit up.
I mean, like. Francis Ngannou is a very good athlete. He hits very hard. But if you look at the boxing skill, like difference between Francis and Ngannou, the way he throws punches and what Tyson Fury does in the ring.
Hold on. Jux Flux in the Racist live chat chimed in. He said, WMMA champions get $10 million is insane. I'm obviously not talking about female MMA. We're going to cut female MMA out of the UFC in this new plan.
We got to make up some money.
The new deal, we got to get rid of a lot of
We're not cutting all of them, but the ones who stay, Amanda Nunes, you got to fight dudes.
You got to fight dudes.
Yes, you want to stick around? We have a spot for you.
Is Shevchenko unbeatable? Let's see how she does against Uriah Faber. Just fucking come out and
Uriah Faber by guillotine in 20 seconds. Turns out that's what it took him.
No, of course not the WMMA champions, Jux Flux. We're not retarded.
No. But I'm just saying, if you're Dana White, you look at this and you go, okay, so it's not as if there's this huge threat that this could always be there luring fighters away. It's like, this guy will go, he'll lower his own, he'll make one big payday, he'll lower his own value. There won't be that much of a demand to see former champions continuing to go over into boxing. I think this will draw Dana White to come up a little bit, but I don't think he's coming up to anything like 10 mil. I think he might go from like,
obviously.
you had a 500,000 guarantee, I'll give you $1 million guarantee. And by the way, it's not like that's all they get paid. It's not like that.
No,
they put that
I'm not
there.
complaining about fighter pay. What I'm saying is there is a massive, massive discrepancy. And when you look at what these guys what they do, they put their bodies on the line in a massive way. Dude, Rob Font, all bullshit aside, is a different human being today than he was on Friday. Okay, there's years off his life. There's measurable damage to his brain after what he was just in, right? So, look, I don't know that the discrepancy, and I saw a meme where Tyson Fury was getting $33 million for his last fight, and Francis Ngannou got $600,000 for his last fight. To have that massive of a discrepancy when these guys are putting their lives on the line, I'm just saying, if I'm
I don't
the
know
UFC,
if it's your fucking dumb neck injury or something,
dude,
but you're forgetting about everything. Listen, Lewis, and you're a businessman.
I watched Gringo Poppy 3 times, dude. My mind's fucking turning to mush.
You should know better than this. If you go outside and smash your head into a boulder, you're putting your life on the line and taking years off of your life.
Yes.
And you know what you should get paid for that? Nothing.
Of course.
Because it doesn't matter what you're risking or how much damage there is or what matters is how much money are you bringing
I'm
in.
saying,
and the truth is,
as
Vera
a business
is not
owner,
bringing money like that in.
Well, I'm not talking about Vera.
Well, you just were.
Well, I was talking about Rob Font.
I'm sorry, Font. Font.
I'm saying this is from the business standpoint, in my opinion, this would be good for the business. It's not just good for the fighters. I'm not going, ooh. I'm saying you will create a fucking mad dash.
It would take you one day if you just sat in and you go, okay, you're filling in for Dana White. So you want to pay this guy 10 mil or you want to keep that other 9.5 mil? And you go, I don't know, I've been thinking about it. I think we're just going to hang on to that 9.5 mil for now. And, if he doesn't fight, I don't know. We put John Jones in there.
I'm not one of these, dude. I'm not one of these pussies. I'm just saying, personally, if I own the UFC, this is the way that I would do it. I personally, look, I do run a business, right? I don't want other podcast networks to be like, oh, you'll make more money working with that podcast network. I don't want that to be the case. I want people to work with guest stitchers because we're the best.
Joe Rogan's making like hundreds of millions, and I'm not making anything like that, so I'm thinking about leaving.
We kill what we eat. You can go, how are you going to get in front of the 12 million?
You kill what, exactly. You eat what you kill.
No, we kill what we eat. I kill what I eat.
You kill it by eating
this has, by the way, nothing to do with what we were just talking about. I'm having a little thought here.
I kill what I eat. My method of killing? Eating. I kill it by eating it. It's alive when
I'm saying I personally think it's better marketing for the UFC to have their fucking champion saying, I'm not going to boxing. Fuck boxing. That's an inferior sport versus every one of their top 10 contenders talking about making the jump over to boxing and how they love to do it.
I agree.
It's just whack. It doesn't look good. It does not look good for the UFC. And they have to start emptying out their pockets a little bit. And not empty out this company's worth a wild amount of money.
It's a tough calculation to make. I do agree with you that in the case, it's a case by case thing. But with Francis Ngannou, I want to see Dana White offer him more money, get this settled, and
just
get him being your heavyweight champion defending the title. And by the way, I think they are doing that. I think they're in the process of doing all of that.
Probably.
But this is, man, if you were Ngannou and you wanted to negotiate, this does nothing but help you that Tyson Fury just came up and said, I'm willing to do this fight.
If you're Francis Ngannou, you're talking about let's say he makes $10 million, it's life-changing money, like life-changing. He never has to work another day in his life. He never has to put his health on line. He can simply choose, oh, cool, I'll go fight. And the UFC's not going to get rid of him. That's a reality. Conor lost to Mayweather. He's had a showing, even if
UFC was a part of that, which is slightly different, but you're right. Your central point doesn't matter.
Right. If he's the best heavyweight, he's not, they're just not going to get rid of him, right? They're not going to do it. So, look, I'm very excited to see what happens. I think my $10 million theory is brilliant. Thank you, Dave, for shooting it down. Natalie, let's hear this. What happened to this girl fight?
1 second, wait for it for you to get your coverage.
You got a little whiskey. What is it? Is it Angel's Envy?
Wow. Hey, I got a question, by the way. I want to point this to Dave first. Fury.
Hexagons. What?
He fought. Look, by the way, you can hide in the corner of a square in a ring, but the corners of a triangle, they are sharp, my friend. They are sharp in a triangle. All right, so I'm working on this catchphrase, but it's coming along. Come on. So my question is: the Fury fight, 94,000 people at Wembley, I believe, in England here, and the guy that he fought wasn't even like this big badass. He wasn't this guy that generated that much buzz. Why can't the UFC hold an event like that? Or are they what's the difference between the UFC right now and what these boxers are doing?
I mean, it's a good question. You know, I don't have my finger on the pulse.
Well, Tyson Fury,
why boxing is still so much bigger than the UFC.
Well, Tyson Fury in England. Tyson Fury is not going to draw that many people in the U.S. He's not going to do 100,000 stadium, right?
Yeah, probably not.
In England, and he's a national hero, dude. He is a massive, massive, massive star. You know, you gotta, you know, and once again, boxing is just bigger. There's the UFC.
Boxing at the highest level.
They're almost a victim of their own like
saturation.
saturation as well. It's like, so the sense of urgency, there's a balance, right? And they are a little bit oversaturated. I don't have massive urgency. I do an MMA podcast where we have to talk about it. I don't have a massive urgency to watch all these fights.
I watch half the events.
So you can only imagine if you're an MMA fan, you go like, oh, cool. It also works better as party fodder. Bar fodder, just like in the background, right? So there's a lot more casual, like, oh, like it's just sort of there.
It's also got
cool.
It's got a history. I grew up watching it with my father, who grew up watching it with his father. Like boxing is very integrated in America, in England, and all over the world. You know,
and worldwide. I think in the U.S., I think there's this because the UFC is very exciting, and also because we do have our eye watching the UFC, right? And we watch it grow, and it seems like it's, oh my god, the fastest growing sport in the world. They say it so much to us, it must be true, right? There's some other shit. It's like not as many people give a fuck. Like we really care. But I think if you were just to go out to a bar right now and say, what do you like better, UFC or boxing? I think most dudes would say boxing. They go, oh yeah, I like boxing better. I don't really like either one that much, but if I got to choose one, I pick boxing. There's more people that are going to casually buy a Floyd Mayweather fight. They're going to go casually buy, a whatever UFC fight.
Yeah. No, I think that's right.
There's always that talk, by the way, between Dana and Jerry Jones, because the hope is that they're going to put on a big event at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, which is 100,000 people. And honestly, I think Fury could, we say it was in London. I think he could get pretty damn close to selling out Texas Stadium. But
he's big. He's big here too. I mean, there's no question. He's big here. He's probably bigger there, but he's a big star, man.
No, there's a handful of massive boxing stars that will just, and they also, you're only getting one of those boxing fights like every 2 or 3 months. So people are going to spend their $100 every 2 or 3 months on that. The UFC every other week is a $75 pay-per-view.
And there's also something in boxing where even if there's like, because it's not a company and branded the way the UFC is, the saturation doesn't fuck them over as much. So there might be boxing on Showtime every other week, but no one associates that with being the same thing as a Tyson Fury fight. Like no one watches that stuff. You know what I mean? So then when Tyson Fury fights, it's Tyson Fury fighting. That happens once a year.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? So it's like there's no saturation with that.
No, not at all.
Whereas because the UFC is the brand, the UFC, it's always on.
Yeah. And also, like, I've weirdly, the UFC and all of this, like, I've weirdly gotten back into boxing a little bit. Honestly, Jake Paul makes boxing kind of fun and interesting again. You kind of want it, like, you kind of get, like, you're like, oh, what's going on over in the boxing world? So it's not a bad thing when you get all these guys that are coming in and, trying to fucking make waves and do stupid shit.